Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not a Lifetime Podcast, episode 23. The first game of the season, or games of the season, have happened now. We have a start of a new league season to look forward to. A lot of stress probably to come for our own clubs and all that to look forward to. And a nice, big, lovely win against Chelsea on Sunday. Always to beat them after last year's mad 4-4 draw. So the fact we finally got a win this time, a clean sheet at Stamford Bridge, is obviously a good start to the season. Before we get into it, how you both doing on a lovely Tuesday afternoon?
All right, mate.
Can't complain. Football's back.
Absolutely.
We can be happy again.
Finally. Be happy. I'm now out of the cage now of bloody life. Love to actually enjoy football. Nothing else we'll have to worry about. But no, it was a good. I mean, obviously, it was a good game. I mean, I was actually quite surprised at how good we watched. I'm not saying it would be terrible. I thought it would be a lot closer than what I thought it was going to be. But people go like Chelsea played well. Not really. Not to me. I didn't really know. Chelsea were very poor. People like the way they were playing. I know obviously they've got a new manager and a whole mess of football club Chelsea in itself. But actually look at the team they had out. They should have done a lot better than what they did. They've done a lot more competitive of a team. And we looked like, I won't say we were free flying. We definitely won. There definitely are issues in the team that have to be worked out in the long run, especially going forward. I think at the back is a bit. There's one mistake, but that's out in training anyway. It's more the attack. I'm like, okay, we can definitely work on that a bit more, especially with the wingers. I think one winger definitely has to get final product. I said that after the Community Shield game with Doku. I love him, but he really needs to find a way of getting that final pass and the attack and the shooting correctly done. When he gets that, he'll be one of the best wingers in the league, bar none. But when you look at Savio, a much more better end product for player, and obviously Alex saw it himself obviously on Sunday with Savio. You can really see the kind of player that the thing he offers to this game. I was not waffling now, but Alex yourself, right? Watching the game there at the Bridge, what were your overall thoughts on actual performance?
Thought he played really well. I genuinely think it was like a typical start of the season game, really, that I was just like, do you know what? I'm not too fussed about this in either way. Like it is what it is. Like whatever the result is, what the result is. Like this first game of the season, give or take. And I'm buzzing that I was there, but I thought we played really well. I thought it was very similar to United in the Community Shield. Like literally every player who played, you could say a massive positive for, and I think that what more can you really say about that? I walked out of there buzzing. It was City fans are class as well. It was so good. Being in that away end was brilliant. They were so good, and yeah, it was just big 3 points as well. Big 3 points, and they were, as Briggsy said there, they were poor. They were really, really disappointing. And everyone says about Enzo Maresca being a Pep disciple. They were nothing like that. Nothing like it. I know, and they've got a long way to go to be anywhere near that. But it's a massive jump being that good in the Championship to be in the Premier League. And, I thought Leicester without him played a lot better last night than Chelsea did Sunday.
Absolutely. They did. And I just feel like when I mean, me and Danny was watching on TV instead of actually being at the game. But even when I was watching it, I just thought Chelsea with no structure. I mean, I said that, no structure, no identity, and it's a mess. It's not been anywhere near the Chelsea that we all know how good they were under a bit. How structured they were as a club, had the right people in charge of everything. They always knew, even the managers didn't necessarily go well. You knew what to expect from Chelsea every season. They always went for all their trophy to sort of try and get. But Chelsea now is a completely different enigma. It's not near the same level of club anymore. And when you've got an owner like Todd Bowley and the Clear Lake stuff going on, it's and you hear from like Chelsea fans themselves how bad it's going. It's like I feel more for the real Chelsea fans, the ones actually going week in week out, because they don't expect this shit. And it would be the exact same with our club, been playing the same way. Like, it's all well and good buying loads of players for lots of money, but if it doesn't actually make any sense, what's the point? Like, you're getting like Neto, you're getting like Joao Felix today. When obviously got Sterling wanting to really go after got Osimhen being linked. Like, where's the plan? Where's the plan? Like, where's the
Exactly.
actual?
They haven't got one. If Chelsea are known for anything, it's not for their recruitment, is it?
Yeah.
They just throw money at the problems without a strategy and just hope for the best. Just buy as many players in as many positions as they can without actually solving any of the problems.
Precisely.
They don't put any thought into hiring the managers either. Like, they did the same with Lampard that they did with Maresca, because he came straight from Derby, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leicester and
But
Chelsea.
he wasn't ready for that level of management yet. They just Graham Potter. A lot of the managers they're hiring aren't where the club is supposed to be. They're hiring the managers for the level they're at now, which isn't good enough.
Well, look at Leicester as well. Like, Maresca went up, fair enough, he won the league, but you could watch Championship last year. Leicester, Ipswich, Leeds, Southampton will keep bottling games constantly. It was the most fraudulent top four race I've ever seen in the Championship. No one wanted to go up. And in the end, two went up for the playoffs. But that's how bad it was last year. And I just think Leicester, for me, I always thought, why would you go for Maresca when he's only just had one season in English football as a manager? Why would you go for him? You look properly at what he's done with the team. He should have walked the league from early on. Why on earth are you getting him? Poch, for me, should have stayed as manager and should have, right, we'll now on Poch and go forward. I think if they kept Poch, I think they'd probably be a better team this season and have a lot more of a direction.
Yeah, they would.
But as soon as I knew straight away they're finished, because until Clearlake, until Bowley go, Chelsea will not be a threat to any of us, because
he's trying to make it like a bloody baseball team, isn't he? Just trying to run it like baseball. He literally is like it's. I mean, I don't know if you heard Carragher last night, but the way he was saying, like, they were saying, when are these players going to play? That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
They've had to rebuild the training ground, haven't they?
Yeah.
The dressing
Where
room,
are they going in the changing room?
Just to make place for all these players that they're signing, because they've got enough for 4 squads.
Yeah.
It's like pure gym at 5 p.m, isn't it? Like, just constant fit everyone at the gym trying to really work out the same stuff. So it's like, it's crazy. I don't understand.
You can go on about City squad depth as much as you want, but we don't have the squad depth, because that's the biggest myth in football. And then you look at Chelsea, who have just bought 3 squads in the last 2 windows.
Like, think Forest, but like worse.
All this money spent, they spent about 2 billion in 2 years, and
Roughly
they haven't even got a single good player to show for it.
Well, their best sign has been Palmer. We're being real. The best sign they've had, and let's be honest, it should have been Palmer. It should have been Nkunku. But if we're being real here, should have been Nkunku.
Yeah,
but obviously,
neither of those two did anything against us. Did they? Realistically, none of their players had a threat against us. We had nothing to worry about. It was such an easy game defensively.
Yeah, it was.
Like Lewis tweeted, didn't he? He said it's another pre-season game, when it was, because it was easy.
Rico Diaz had a really good game. I thought Diaz played really well. But you're right, they didn't create anything. Our little friend Rat Boy, he was useless. Utterly useless. And
I didn't see him at all throughout the game.
Was hopeless. I genuinely did not think he was playing. And the bloke next to me, he goes like, is our ex playing? And I was like, I think so. And then eventually he was on the ball, and he just literally lifted his foot over the ball, and the ball went out of play, and all the City fans, "Hey, what good." And I was just like, there you go. That sums up Palmer's afternoon. Useless. And then my dad looked at me. Exactly, yeah. My dad looked at me and went, "That's why we sold him." And he's absolutely right. That is why we sold him, because he's literally playing at his club now where he's found his level. And he won't have a season like last season.
It's bad.
14 penalties this season.
No. It's bad when Cole Palmer's your best player. I wouldn't be taking the piss out of the guy, by the way. I think he's a talented player. He clearly is. But when your best player is Cole Palmer, who's in his first full season in a first team role like that, and you've got buddy Nicholas Jackson, who's been playing for over a couple of years. You got Raheem Sterling, who just is nowhere near the player he's ever used to be. He's finished.
Or he's just another one that they're shipping out, isn't he? Like, if you look at what I found bizarre was when they said the only player who started for Chelsea in the Champions League final against us is Kovacic.
Yeah. That's mad.
Like, the rest of their team was completely unrecognisable compared to 3 years ago, and they have nothing to show for it.
Nothing.
Exactly. Nothing.
They have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Shall we move on to City? We've spent enough time talking about Chelsea.
We have, yeah, enough of them fucking weirdos.
So,
sorry to that's all from my streams. Sorry to my mates, the Chelsea fans. I feel for you guys in a way, but unlucky.
So yeah,
on to more important
Lewis
matters.
and Kovacic were outstanding.
Rico Lewis. Honestly, people are sleeping on this guy. I think this season, the Community Shield, Chelsea, he's really ramping himself up. That this year he looks properly like he wants to be in this team.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely.
Joe Watt,
I think
he should be the start.
Stephen who tweeted out saying we should be talking about Lewis like we were talking about Bob, because he deserves it. Lewis has been brilliant in the last few games, and he completely deserves to make that position his own.
Cover and Rico were just. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? Kevin Bernardo weren't great, but I didn't need them to be. Like, end of the day, right? People should stop when they need to. As long as everyone's like getting fitness, getting like it's game number one. I'm not asking everyone to be at top level anyway. At the end of the day, right? We won the game, and everyone minutes. So it doesn't matter anyway for me personally. Like, obviously, I want to see the levels go up more and more. So Ipswich on Saturday, I want to see even more levels go up. But the fact is, what we saw from certain players, especially Rico Lewis as well, who I think for me, I think this will be his proper breakout year this year. I know a couple of years, but this will be his year, I reckon, because he was ripping up their wings. And Kunku,
he was really good.
He was everywhere, like blocks, tackles, like probably like Ruben Diaz defending. I thought this guy for me, look, I know Carl Walker is technically the captain. Enough of that.
For now,
but
until tomorrow, we'll see.
Until tomorrow, Gundogan takes it off him. But Rico for me,
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain. Rico should start ahead of Walker for me. There's no reason for the Carl to be back on the team straight away. Rico has actually proved himself in pre-season and last two games that he should be starting games. So, and him and Savio, the link up as well, and Savio and him, but brilliant. It just worked really well together. I think that kind of like link up, obviously, with Bob as well was also so good. I just feel like what we've got to do is start prioritizing him more this season. And obviously, Bob was meant to be there as well. But obviously, we'll go on to Savio Doku in a bit. But to give Rico his flowers, he was unbelievable. And he deserves all the plaudits. I hope he keeps kicking on and improving himself this year. He's class, honestly. Class player.
Yeah, definitely. The one thing I was critical about Lewis was his defending. He's not strong enough, so he put in some really good tackles against Chelsea. His timing is really good, and going forward, he's a threat as well. He's making it into the opposition's box as well, isn't he? He's making the chances.
Exactly, yeah. And you know what? We'll go on to the wingers. Also, we'll go to Haaland. We'll go on the wingers because I think for me, a lot of people were saying certain things about both the wingers. Now, from what I was watching, I think Jeremy Doku has a big future ahead of him. People were he's shit. He's very young. You got to remember, right? Some wingers don't often get that end product straight away. So I've got to get there themselves. We can see that Doku has that ability. We can see it because he's showing it by ripping his ball back every time. But what he's got to work on is the final pass and the shooting consistently. He gets that right, he'll be one of the best wingers in the league. I think Savio is better than him, and that's clear to see because Savio just has that kind of level of player where you can see how good he is on the ball dribbling wise, and he has it all around him. But if we can get Doku on that same wavelength, we've got two wingers that can find Haaland very effectively, and Haaland can get us some more supply as well. So I think obviously in the chat we had a bit of a chat yesterday about Grealish and Doku yesterday, didn't we? In the WhatsApp group yesterday.
But
But
we'll leave that in the chat. We don't have to bring it
yeah,
up now.
doing this chat. We'll bring it up. We don't want to see that chat at times. It's a nightmare at times doing these two. Honestly, nightmare. But
We'll upload it later.
Yeah. But I think for me, obviously Jack needs to be in this team as well. But I said before, obviously even if Bob was fit, we've got some good wingers who can offer different to their game. But what we need to work on is that connection between the midfield and the attack. It's clearly still a little bit, if it's not quite the free flowing football. Yeah, and it won't be for a while anyway. But if there's improvements to be made, it's definitely in that area. Because I think we're actually fine. I know Josko wasn't as imperious self either, but again, the issues for me weren't at the back. It was more the midfield and the attack. I think we're a little bit not quite clicking. I think
it's part of the first game of the season, isn't it? Like, you are going to be a bit rusty.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be free flowing football. You're not going to make a lot of chances because it is the first game. Like a lot of Kevin's passes were off, but he didn't have a bad game either, did he?
No, exactly.
Kevin was all right, I think he had one of his good games where he's not like
you said, nobody really had a poor game.
No, they didn't.
It's just the first game, and everyone's a little bit rusty, especially the players who didn't have a pre-season.
Being me, if I had to be critical and I had to just throw one out there, because I always am negative, apparently, according to people in this chat. But
if you're going to say a kanji, you can shut up now.
If I had, no, I wasn't going to say a kanji. I was going to say Vital.
You're right, Kanji. The defense was fine. No issue there at all.
Kanji made a few passes where I literally was nearly threw myself off the stage standing, where I was kind of like, if he makes one more like that, or he stands in that position again, then I am going over the fucking edge of this terrace, because it was laughable. And I was like, almost at a point where I've said enough about Akanji. I ain't saying it again, but this is ridiculous now. But Vardiol was probably the only one who would probably score 5, 6. Everyone else I'd put above that.
Yeah, I agree with section that. He was.
Yes,
I wouldn't say, look, we also remember this as well. We're not saying this to sake of it. We remember this. If you want to get better this season and win all the trophies, we've got to look at performances and say, right, we won the game, clean sheet, great, but we can't just say that's fine, you can move on. You've got to look at stuff, think, all right, well, we work on that better, we can get forward to Ipswich and get better and better and better. Because people were expecting us to be going straight away. No, we won't be. Because maybe if we get Gundogan in there as well, we'll get everyone fit, everyone playing, we'll work out the best team. Because bear in mind, that team I think playing Sunday isn't the best team.
Disclaimer, Gundogan hasn't actually signed yet.
No, he hasn't exactly, but soon. Yeah, definitely. I think because the thing, like, we've now got a stat midfield now, even more stat than for like you got Kovacic and Gundogan, which for me, right, that is I wouldn't mind seeing that as a midfield at some point. Gundogan, Kovacic, Rodri, to see how that would work. I think you got two players who can sort of go forward a little bit, but also box defend as well. If we've ever got to play against a tough team like an Arsenal, I wouldn't mind seeing that at some point. Just like maybe give Kev a bit of a rest now and again, and just sort of like, I mean, because that kind of variety of midfielders can be so much sport, especially going into Europe as well. Especially going to like the Bernabeu, because at some point we'll have Madrid this year, because they want that Mbappe Haaland battle. They want it because it's written in the stars at this point. I mean, Madrid, City, semi-final, final. If it happens the final, mate, I'm not going to survive. Because if we win it, we're fucking dead. But we got to work out. For me, it's the midfield. The attack will work out itself out, but it's the midfield where I'm like, what's the best midfield that we're going for? Because if Gundogan is coming in, we've got to work it out soon.
Potentially.
Because he is.
Yeah,
it's not done yet. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it's true. Look at Messi, look at Ronaldo. Just saying it can happen. We could quite have 4 in the past. So, I think
can't talk about it as if it's fact yet, because it's not.
No, it's not. I mean, I've been told personally it has been, but we'll wait for confirmation before you do that. But I get it. So don't be quiet on the stream. But for me, this season, I want to know about the midfield. The midfield is what I want to know. What are we going to be playing? Because clearly for me, it's Rodri. Definitely Rodri's the midfield. But who we play in front of him? Because you've got a lot of variety now. Like, is De Bruyne the guaranteed starter anymore? I mean, I'm not saying that its quality's still there. I still will run play or not, but we've got to be real here. We've got a lot of variety now in certain games. And I'll be really, and I mean, obviously, it's something like, I think for me, the biggest headache will be that. I think the attack, look, Baku, Savio, Grealish, whoever you want to play the wings, Haaland up front, that all switch anyway. And defense is kind of straightforward anyway, but for me, it's the midfield. Because the midfield has to be correct in every game we play now. Because it can't just be Ipswich, I don't really care. Because it's like, it's Ipswich on the go, but we should beat them at home.
I think it depends on who you're playing, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, West Ham away, however, that's the one. No.
If we were playing Madrid, then obviously Rodri, you wouldn't want to drop De Bruyne against Madrid because he's De Bruyne. And Bernardo's probably going to play in midfield just because he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
So Kovacic and Gundogan probably wouldn't even start in that kind of.
But those options of the bench, though, them to the bench, that's we got an insane.
Gundogan can play the false nine position as well, can't he? So he can be Haaland's backup as well.
So it's what I mean. Like apparently as well. Why is she going for a striker as well? I'm like, okay, well, this is the thing. If you're getting a striker, it's not. By the way, it's not Mubama. By the way, that West Ham player gets him. If it was him, I'd laugh because I don't know why a random young player from West Ham. But no, I just. When we're getting him,
Ivan Toney.
See, for me, it wouldn't work.
If he's only going for 40 million, that's a steal. Like.
No, it's not. It's way too much. I know it's not my money, but you're never going to get him for that. But he's not even on the. I'd rather Ollie Watkins, Isaac, someone like that. Ivan Toney's right down there. His levels. Europa Conference League at best.
If we were looking at Premier League replacements, those are the three main strikers you'd look at in the Premier League, wouldn't it?
The problem is,
I'd rather Darwin Núñez than him.
Watkins and Isaac are definitely up there as the favourites for me.
But they want to leave because like Alvarez
ain't leaving.
So
Tony obviously wants to leave. So why wouldn't he want to come to a team he plays in the Champions League, wins trophies?
Do you know where he should have gone?
Stinks though.
Why would he go to Saudi?
We rejected Paqueta because he had a gambling problem. So why would we sign Tony, who's got a worse one?
Well, he's not going to do it again, is he?
You can't say that. It's a cruel illness, gambling.
Do you want to bet on it?
Yeah, go on. No, but it is. I don't know. Not Ivan Toney.
Not for me personally.
You know what the best thing about Tony is? His initials are I bet.
Oh, do you know who he? I tell you right.
These dad jokes are criminal.
Do you know what I'd gone for personally if he was still available? William Dovbeck from Girona. Ironically, from a club. He's at Roma now, so it doesn't matter. But I would have thought Girona. I mean, Girona. I've like is it Tisagankov and that plays like who've been playing well there anyway. But I always thought like Dovbeck would have been a great backup striker because he's the same sort of build as Haaland, so it's not like a different like striker option. You can sort of have similar builds, so you can sort of work on that, and it would have been a good player to sort of have the bench and play some games as well. But I think if we're getting an attacker in after apparently. Just because I said now before, you need to be careful here because if it doesn't happen,
exactly, it's not done. Anything can happen.
Yeah, look, I think it'll happen, but we've got to be until that official. Here we go. Well, not even here we go.
We can say it's likely.
There we land.
There we land.
It's not
done. It's done. It's been the minute was landed. He's here. But no, I just think. If we get Gundogan in and also get another attacker in, that's me sorted for me. Like because Gundogan will not be the long term. It's more of a short term anyway, because I think next summer a couple will go, and that's when Musiala comes in.
You say that about Kev, and I don't like the guy, but Tolmy's literally just tweeted, by the way, Gundo 2 years, Kev certainly 2 years.
Kev, so what he's saying over 2 years,
Both
Kev?
would be 2-year contract, yeah.
That's for me. I'll take it. Look, because the thing is, by that point with Kev, right? By that point with Kev, what, 36 at that point?
Yeah,
Roughly?
He's 36. He's 35, and nearly 37 because he's 35 next summer.
I just think.
Next summer, yeah.
Somebody's never wrong.
He literally wanted to sell Ruben Diaz. Tell me he's never wrong.
And also, he said that we break the £100 million thing. And look, don't be wrong, right? I said before, people get told different things. I'm not going to say they're wrong, what they're saying. I've also said, take everything you see with a pinch of salt. Even when people that I know from people, I say, pinch of salt, until it happens properly, I'll believe it. Because I know Tone, I know Mark very well, and they say similar things, but I only sort of, they'll say to me, pinch of salt, but it's better to be told that than nothing at all, personally. That's why I look at it.
Yeah, I just think Tolmy spouts a complete load of rubbish all the time.
So do you.
He talks not. I know I do, but I don't talk rubbish about transfers. I don't pretend to know that we're going to smash the £100 million transfer fee and all that rubbish.
Exactly. Section. Exactly that. Yes, it is bullshit until it happens. Until I see it on the website, like a cringy old man on the website, then that's true.
Do you know what? I love Fab, right? I think Fab's brilliant. I think he's great. He's such an, I could listen to him talk football for ages, but he's kind of ruined transfers, hasn't he?
He has. Don't get me wrong, right? It was cool when it first happened.
That's not happening, by the way. Fab.
No, it's
Fab.
No, it
said that before. That he's not.
It should happen. I would make
sure.
It
should. But what's the point?
Because it's a free transfer, isn't it? So we don't.
Yeah, it's a free transfer. Anything. So why should we give them an asset? Why should we give them a 20, 30 million pound player when they want rid of Gundo for nothing?
Although we'd all pay for them to take Cancelo off as well, wouldn't
we? Bloody hell.
What, like we paid them for fucking Ferran Torres? They still owe us about 40 million for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, did. Yeah, I remember that. But also, just a quick one. It's separate news, but it's transfer news, but it's not really to do with us. But it's more just to get your point on it. It pushed Broja from Chelsea, so they've got Delap and Broja now up front.
That's not a bad signing, you know.
It's a good signing,
newly
actually.
Promoted club.
But the thing is, with Ipswich though, they've actually signed some good players. But I've also said before, it still depends on whether they click because they're still like a League One team still. It's still new players being
loan.
That's permanent. Broja's a loan option, but yeah, not really, mate.
I've seen that on a few sources that Barca have agreed to let him go for free.
Yeah, it's free. Basically, literally tearing up his Barca contract. So yeah, free.
Yeah, I just think. For me, Barcelona are a fucking mess. They are an absolute. Do you remember the days, Ron? Barcelona used to be a proper institution, a proper club. They used to buy players, the big.
Yeah,
players.
When I was growing up, they were the club. When Pep was there, they were like.
They're my favorite team. Yeah, I love
up until about 10 years ago, they were still, incredibly well run, but now they're just a complete mess in every single way.
Yeah, Messi, Suarez are up front. Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets midfield. Before that,
David
Pedro is well coming through. But for me, I feel sad more for the Barcelona fans themselves who actually love. Because I know people who are Barcelona fans that what they see of City, what they used to see at Barca, exact same thing, and
yeah,
it's like they missed that. I feel because the thing is, look at Madrid. They've always maintained standards. They've always maintained it anyway. And even though they haven't played well, they found the way of keeping themselves going again and building. Barcelona have been. It's it's all politics in Barcelona. It's all political, all bloody rubbish, and you get Ola coming in. Gundogan, bear in mind, their best player. By the way, the fans have said Gundogan was their best player last season, and
Didn't he get like 18 goals, assists, or something? He was like, yeah.
And they just don't want him because he spoke the truth about how badly.
Exactly, I saw that as well. I saw that.
It's ridiculous.
They just don't like being called out on the fact.
They don't.
See,
they don't.
See, Mike's just said there that Gundo on a free is a no-brainer. You'd think it probably is, but I'm still completely torn on this. I really am. He shouldn't have left in the first place.
No, he shouldn't.
But he wanted to go. He didn't sign the contract. He didn't agree to the terms. That
depends on what you believe, because nobody actually knows.
Of course it does, but he didn't agree to the terms we gave him. And we offered him 1 year because we thought in 12 months he won't be the same player. So why, after we've said we're not giving you more than 1 year, after 1 year, are we then suddenly thinking, actually, do you know what, we'll give you 2 years? So why didn't we just give him 3 years in the first place?
No, but you don't know. You haven't seen the contract that was offered to him.
No, but either way, he's turned it down. He's not signed it.
No,
so,
I don't agree with players coming back.
I think
to the club they left. It doesn't always work.
No.
Like I said in the group chat, the only player I make an exception for is Wright Phillips, because
he wasn't as good when he came back.
No, and Henry, when he went to Arsenal again, it doesn't. It's not always the dream fairy tale that everyone hopes it to be.
No,
it was. I mean, true, but the thing is, I think that the club, for me, obviously gave him a contract. I think that was value. People have a go at the club for it. The club can't just give him all the wages he wants at 32 years. You got to look at it.
You've got to look at it as a financial decision, haven't you? And it's such a difficult one because I love him, and every City fan loves him, and every single City fan on the planet. That moment in Istanbul when he lifted that trophy to complete a treble as a captain.
Villa at home.
That's Villa at home. Yeah. There's so many memories with Gundogan. But
Everton.
I just think, I don't know. He shouldn't have gone in the first place. Would it be nice to see him in a City shirt again? Absolutely. But
I think the one thing he does bring is professionalism. He's a captain, isn't he?
That's what I was going to say, but he does bring that captain.
He knows the rest of the squad already. He knows Pep. He knows exactly what Pep will want on day one. And he's a short-term solution. I've
got to ask this, though. What does this mean for McAtee and Nunes?
Nothing.
Because I'm sorry, right? James McAtee, the fan base has been saying, this season, he's going to do well. Please tell me where he's going to get the game time to do it. Because on Chelsea on Sunday...
Could you not try McAtee on the wing? Could you not try him out wide?
We've got too many wingers already. Where will he fit in?
Yeah, but it's what I mean. I don't know.
We should have sold him. I'm sorry, right? I'm probably in the fan base. We should have sold him because I'm sorry. Oh, sell him before the window because it's clear when Pep says he trusts him. I'm saying he's wrong. But where's he going to play? He's 22 years old now. He's past the point now of waiting around for a time. And this is what I mean. It's it's just a risk.
Yeah, I get that age, you should be starting to prove yourself. We saw it with Foden, didn't we? We've seen it with Lewis. We've seen it with Haaland. They're all performing. McAtee, he's not going to make it at City as much as we all want him to. He couldn't even he couldn't prove himself at Sheffield last season, could he? So why is he suddenly just gonna burst onto the scene again now?
The thing is, I mean, you're me here. Why wasn't he just this season 2 years ago? Why wasn't he given it then? Because I said before, Foden given us a couple of seasons and he improved year on year to show that he was well worth being in the squad. Rico done the exact same thing. Bob will do the exact same thing. If Bob is injured, Bob will come back and get in the team because he was good enough to be in the team. O'Reilly, I'm sure, will do the same thing as well. O'Reilly's obviously a good young player himself. But McAtee should be given that 2 years ago. Look, even Delap wasn't given that. Delap got a goal in his debut, but he wasn't given a chance. So you have to wonder here.
Delap wasn't given a chance when we hadn't got a striker.
Exactly. And
So-
why wasn't the fan base won't look, not necessarily us two, but the younger lot that love McAtee. I know a few people that love McAtee, and I respect to you guys who watch the stream right now. I completely understand why. But you've got to be real with yourselves there. McAtee's time at this club, for me, is done. People might say I'm wrong. If I'm proven wrong, thank God, and I'm pleased that he proven me wrong. But if we're being realistic here, it isn't going to happen. Sadly, I just think he 2 years ago, before that loan move, he should be given that chance that season to get a team, be a bench player with the team before they got better and better. And right now, he might be in this team right now, playing every game. I know it sounds simple, but when you look at what he's done with Foden recently as well, it just feels a bit like a missed opportunity for him. And look at Núñez. Like we've been saying this season about Núñez, right? He's going to be given a chance this year, but now we're getting Gundogan in. He's going to play. When? Like obviously Calvin's gone. Well, we'll do that anyway. But Núñez, for me, is he going to get played consistently?
I think he should now. I've said it time and time again. Give that guy a chance because there is a footballer there. He's talented. He's quick on the turn. He can run with the ball. Just give him a chance. Now,
but how many other players in the team can do that? It's not like he's the only one who can do that.
He's one of the better ones at doing it. Definitely.
Why doesn't he play
and
then?
carrying, definitely he's one of the better ones. But he's not been given an opportunity to show what he can do at a consistent level. Now he's got someone alongside him in Gundogan, who can do exactly that. Gundogan's got the experience. He's been there and done it. Núñez is still relatively young for a Premier League player. So maybe they can bounce off one another and maybe he's the kind of influence that he needs to showcase what he can do. Who knows? I think this is a good move for Núñez, personally. I think having Gundogan alongside it, last season, he's got no one similar in that position at all.
No.
He's got no one. Because De Bruyne is not a similar kind of player. Rodri's not a similar player. The only one really who is that similar would probably be Foden or Bernardo, I'd say. But even they're not remotely similar. They're the closest. But I think Gundogan is a similar kind of player, can help him. And it's a really good chance for Núñez now to learn from someone who's been there and done it. And the best manager in the world.
I personally don't think it's a good move for Núñez at all. I think it's just going to send his career the same way it's done for Phillips. He's not going to get the game time. He's only going to get the odd couple of minutes in a few games. He's not going to start games.
With Calvin, though, that was down to himself and injuries. Yeah. If he had come back from his first injury, right, and had come back with the mentality to keep pushing, then we could excuse that and say it was just unlucky. But we can't just say that was it. Like, Calvin should have been in the squad by now. He should be in this team with Rodri right now. Should be a pivot. But
if we're talking about mentality, then Núñez should have come back from Euro.
Exactly. He should have done because
he's taking that as a chance to prove himself, show that he's willing to.
Sterling came back 2 weeks early and ended up getting left out completely on Sunday.
Yeah, but Sterling's shit.
But that's Chelsea. Chelsea's a whole mess, mate. It's a whole different mess. That's what I'm saying.
I get both sides to this, and it's like I said before. If in 12 months' time we're looking back and Núñez has still had limited opportunities like last season, then fair enough. I'll hold my hands up and be like, do you know what? I said give him
Núñez won't be here in 12 months.
He will. If he's given the chance, he'll still be here. He's not going anywhere this summer, so why would he leave in January?
He won't get the games that he wants.
Do we really think that's the thing? If he doesn't get them, then in this next summer he goes. But let's just see what happens because he might just need a little bit of a spark. And look at the spark that Ederson got when we signed a keeper who could challenge him. He's the best in the world by none. So who knows? We don't know yet. We've not had an opportunity to really see him. We've not had a consistent run of games to see him. And there is clearly a player there. You've only got to look at the 25-minute cameo in the Community Shield. If he doesn't come on, we don't even get an equaliser. Never mind win the game.
No, true.
Because there's no
True
one
that.
who could control the game the way he did. He came on, put his foot on the ball, carried it forward a few times, started doing what he does. And it was his initial turn movement that set the move up that got us the equalising goal. He had
You
a
can't
really
argue
good
against
25
that, but
minutes.
He's not in our best team. He's not.
No, he's probably not.
He's
but
not even on the best bench, if we're being honest. So when
I
is he
just
going to
think he
get the
just
game?
needs that consistent run and
No,
to
but
learn.
if everybody is fully fit, Nunes doesn't make the bench.
Who's over him?
He doesn't deserve to make the bench because he's not performing well enough to get on the bench.
He was on the bench almost every other game that he wasn't playing last season.
You can say he's good enough to fit in our C team.
I think there's a player there, definitely. I think we've just got to give him a chance.
He's just not the quality that we need right now because he's obviously not being given the games by Pep.
No,
because Pep
and
doesn't
that's the
think
thing.
so.
He needs to be given the games. He needs to be given a chance. Give him a consistent run of games.
If you're
Let's
not
see what he can
performing
do.
well in training, you're not going to play in the games, are you?
I don't
And
know. It's a tough one with him.
If you're not coming back from your break from the Euros, in which you barely played, to prove yourself, it's not going to send you up the pecking order, is it?
It's a tough one. It's a real tough one because he just needs that chance. He just needs 5, 6, 7 games in a row, and then just let him go. Let him see what he can do. And if he does well, he's proved everybody wrong, hasn't he?
Well, I think he sulked at Wolves, didn't he, to force a move to come to City. And I think he's not going to get the minutes this season. He's just going to sulk again. It's just going to be another Cancelo.
I don't think he'll sulk. I think he did that to get a move to a big club. Who wouldn't? But I don't think he'd do what
Mahrez
Cancelo
did it, and Mahrez ended up getting first team place, didn't he?
Yeah, because there was no one who could compete for it.
Because Mahrez was the best in his position for that position.
Best first
Nunes
touch,
is competing with about 8 other players, and even
if we had
those
Oscar
players
Bob,
aren't fit, he's still going to put someone else there above Nunes, just like he did.
If we had Oscar Bob and Savio, Doku, Grealish, Mahrez don't get near the 4 of them. The only reason he was there is because there was no one else to compete. The only one who could have competed was Jack, but Jack's the other side. But if you put those 4 there,
if you
Mahrez
think about the midfield options we've got Gundogan potentially coming in.
Everybody's got to play.
De Bruyne, Bernardo, Foden, McAtee, Bob. They're all capable of playing in midfield. How's Nunes going to get in if he's not?
Because you're not going to have the same midfield for the entire season. You're not going to play 60. I think if we got to every single final this season, I read we play 75 games. Do you think he's not going to play 1 game in 75 games?
He's not going to play a final.
That's a ludicrous decision. That's ludicrous to say that. Of course he's going to play. Of course there's going to be games. So even if we get knocked out in the first round,
he's not
going to
play in the big games, though, is he? He's going to play against Shrewsbury or someone in the 4th round. He's not going to play in the final. He's not going to play in the semi-final.
You don't know that
because he's not trusted enough to even start the big games.
But he might be. That's the thing. We don't know. We can't say he's not going to be trusted because if he's given that chance,
he was around last season and he wasn't played.
Yeah, because he wasn't given the opportunity to show what he can do. I've not been given an opportunity to show what I can do.
He shown what he can do in training. It's not that complicated. He needs to prove himself.
We don't know what goes on in training. We don't know.
I can tell you right now what goes on in training. He doesn't do enough, and Pep doesn't play him because of it.
And that is the issue. Give him that time in a row, and he'll prove everyone wrong.
Who does get 6 or 7 games in a row?
What I mean,
Rodri?
No one will.
Haaland, Bernardo, Diaz, Ederson.
Bernardo doesn't play 7 games in a row.
Most of the back 4.
Even De Bruyne doesn't play 7 games in a row.
Yeah, but he's nearly 50.
The problem is, Alex, he's never going to get that time. Let's be real, he won't. And I know you want him to, and fair enough, but
I just
would have
want him to
everyone.
prove everyone wrong because I think we're wasting a talented
Foden
player.
doesn't get 6 or 7 games in a row.
Yeah, but again, he's 30, mid-30s.
This exactly as well. I mean, going on to Gundogan as well. I mean, Bevan says exactly it. Like it will. Like Doku's chance of assist now will get even more increased. Output will get better because I have someone in the box with Haaland is going to ghost in there and get a tap in. So the fact that we've got someone like that back in the team again, like remember, like Gundogan last year would have helped us win so many games. Like Arsenal away, we might have got something out of that game. Wolves away, probably would have lost the game. Like a certain game where like Gundogan was depends on obviously, but yeah, it just for me, I just feel like with Gundogan in this team, he's a box player. Like he gets into the box, gets in there, gets a tap in or a good goal, and we missed that last year, especially in Champions League as well. We missed it heavily, and if we get that back in this team this year, obviously if it does happen, then we've got a great chance of just really sort of kicking on and really sort of going further this year than ever before. But again, I was hypothetical, so obviously he does come in. But it's a headache as well for Pep as well. It's a headache because now he's got to work out now. I think the defense itself is kind of easy to sort of work out anyway. But then that midfield and attack is a whole different ballgame now. Like it's good to have, but as we get on to what the season ends, when it'll start getting difficult because someone's got to be left out. And this is where, for me, Jack's really got to get in this team from now. Like, and I'm not set, but just putting him out. Other players as well. Nunes as well as another player. Like, Doku's got to really start the season well to get in this team. It's like a lot of players have really got to start showing some form early on to really set that claim for that starting spot. Because, as we all know, it's in football, it can change quickly. It can change blink of football. So, these next few weeks, going up towards Christmas, are going to be really telling to see where this team is going to go. So, what I'll say is right now, I'm not too worried about the overall team right now. It's more the performances on the pitch. That's where it needs to improve. And obviously, results happen as well. But it's just all about just getting Doku, better qualities going forward. Get Savio more in the game. And Savio looks like some player, by the way. Looks some player.
This is what I mean.
He makes dribbling look easy, doesn't he, Savinio? He just looks brilliant on the ball.
Every single player
he actually
has got a
finds
part
a City player with his passes as well, which is a nice change.
Not even Wright Phillips could do that.
I'd rather take current Wright Phillips over Doku.
I mean, to be honest, yeah, but that's because Sean had end product, but not Doku's bad, by the way.
Sean's end product was awful.
He had more end product than Doku has. Doku can't find a blue shirt.
As I said before, this season for me with Doku, he's really got to step up this year. Because the thing is, this is year 2. This is where it really counts now. And if he has a crap season, it isn't looking good for him. And it sounds quite harsh. It sounds quite harsh, but we've got to be real here. Like, where we are now in the football and this team, like there's certain players, right? You've really got to restart well or get into a good rhythm before. Otherwise, I mean, for me, right, it's the fact that some players are still here as well. I'm surprised that more haven't gone really. Like there's only 2 have really gone. Like, Alvarez and Gomez have gone.
Two main ones, yeah.
I mean, Gomez was never going to play anyway, so no one cares about that one, really.
It's a shame about Gomez because he did do all right when he came on. He was just never going to be a starter.
He's not a bad player, Gomez. He's not a bad player at all. I think he'll get better and better at Sociedad and really do well, but I just think he's not our level yet. It's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. And with Doku, I wouldn't usually say, right, if he doesn't perform this season, that's it, because I'd give him a chance. At this level, you do need to be able to live up to it.
Harry, you're right there. You're right. He does have to do this more. I don't blame him.
At another club, Doku would probably be given more chances.
Yeah, he would be.
At City, you do need to hit that level quite quickly to keep a position.
I think there's 3 players this year that have really got to have good seasons. I mean, if I'm looking at the keepers, I think they're fine. They've proven themselves enough.
We've
There's
got
enough
the
credit there.
two best keepers in the league, like the 2 best keeper.
Exactly. Defensively, they've all done well over the years. I mean, Vardiol got really good last year. I mean, Vardiol wasn't great perfectly on Sunday, but it'll come good anyway. So defensively, I mean, Walker, but it's last year probably. So credit the bank from years ago anyway, so it's fine. The midfield, however, it's definitely. And I mean, Kovacic for me had a good end of the year last year, so I think Kova's going to be fine anyway. And on Sunday was great anyway, so I think Kova will be fine anyway.
Was brilliant against Chelsea.
Absolutely brilliant, world class.
Really
arguably the best player on the pitch at times.
I say
he's the
most underrated midfielder we've got because he's so not rated high enough by our fans. And when you watch him play, he does the dirty work well and the attacking well. He does it all. And you have that chance
subtly, doesn't he? He does it a bit like unnoticed, like Barry was.
I was literally going to say he's Gareth Barry, but Croatian.
The Croatian Gareth Barry.
He's got a bit more to
the
his
Croat
game
Gareth
than
Barry.
The Croat, that's a new one. The Croat Gareth Barry. Probably better as well. Ash scores goals as well. Ash scores goals. So
I'm not going to put
Barry
Barry,
scored one once.
Kovacic was
once.
Yeah, I think Gareth Barry's goal was a worldie against Bolton.
I think you're right there, actually. I think you're right. No, but I think for me, the players that got good years, I think there's 3.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Nunes, Doku, Grealish for me. Now, Grealish had one good season, a few moments here and there for the last couple of years. But for me, I need to see him personally. This isn't singling him out because I have a lot of players that I like to sort of see better from. Nunes and Doku was the first year last year. This year, really got to prove himself this year. But Jack, for me, I think we got to see him back to the best this year. I think I'm surprised he didn't come on Sunday. Was there actually a reason for him not coming on Sunday? But just the fact.
My only response to that is he's just come back from injury, hasn't he? Why would you replace an injured Savinio with a player that's just come back from injury himself? You wouldn't want having 2 players out.
I know, but it's just frustrating because I really feel like that game calling out for Jack at some point because it would be nice to have had a player like that on the pitch, really pushing them and winning them kind of fouls. But I don't know, it's a hard one because I think, as I said before, we've got so many good options on the wing now that if you don't play well, you're on the bench. It doesn't matter. Let's say, right, Doku doesn't do really well for a few games. All right, Jack comes in. We're fine with that because he gives Jack a chance. But I think the winger this year will be Savio. I was cool, but judging by the performances already, Savio's getting more into the game more and more. I think, obviously, I could be wrong at it, but it's like we got to see these wingers. I mean, Bob's already will do fine when he comes back anyway. It's Doku and Jack. I need you two really step up this year. I got to see it because you two are very, very good at what you both do. You know what you both do in your teams. Really got to see that come to fruition this year. I think either you both together or on the bench coming on. We've got to see these attacking players really up. I mean, even Foden this year as well. I know Foden was player of the year last year, but that Euros really dropped his stock overall. I know Southgate was the reason. I'm not saying it isn't, but I've always said before that he still could have played better than what he could have done to alleviate the issues that were in that team. Yeah. I know people will say otherwise, but that's me personally. I mean, obviously on Sunday he came on the wing. I knew I was shit anyway. I thought, I don't know why you're bringing Foden on the wing. Well, we all know there's nothing. Because Phil's not a winger. He's a midfielder. So you either bring on Jack or you bring on a midfielder and change up a little bit. I know it felt a bit weird to me, that change, but I get it. It's giving Foden a chance, but it's also one change as well. Also one change, not a few, just one change over the game. So it's Pep that with Pep, so it's weird. After 5, get 1. Weird one. I don't understand it personally, but that's Pep for a nutshell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's too soon to get carried away about Savinio. We'll give him a few more games and then actually have an opinion on it. But he has started really well. He does look good on the ball. He makes dribbling look easy. And he looks sharp as well. He's good at making decisions, making forward passes. It's exciting, but we need more time to see him.
It's skillful, but he does it at the right time. Like, he doesn't do it willy-nilly. He does skills at the right moment, and it's like that's great to have in a winger because you know, all right, if he's got a few players in him, that's fine. Could find a way around it because he has that ability on the ball where he's confident towards arrogant because he knows how good he is on the ball, and that kind of level of player is what we need. That kind of Mahrez kind of player, and funny enough, Mahrez played with weeks, didn't he?
I saw that. That was good.
I love that because it's literally the exact same as Mahrez. I mean, it's just like Samba instead.
He does look good. You can tell he has inspiration from
Mahrez, yeah. And people don't realise, right? Gundogan we missed last year. We missed Mahrez a lot last year because the amount of goals he got in that treble season, like, would have been the final. It wasn't for him in the FA Cup.
Yeah, I've always said like I could give or take Mahrez. Right, it liked him because he was City. He was what he was. He kicked up a fuss to come to us, came to us. He did well, obviously. But I've always been along the thing of, he had a brilliant first touch, but I didn't really see anything other than that he had. But I always said last season, I wouldn't have got rid of both Gundogan and Mahrez. No. I would have kept one or the other. So if Gundogan goes, I'd have kept Mahrez. If Mahrez goes, I'd have kept Gundo. That's what I said last season because I just think that we were missing something that each one could have bought us. And if just Gundo would have gone, I could have lived with the fact, all right, Mahrez is still here. We've still got that little bit of a spark that can come off the bench, that can start a game, that's got a bit of flair.
Yeah.
And then the exact same thing with Gundogan. Had Mahrez gone, we've still got that leadership. We've still got that ability, that talent. But when I say like I never rated Mahrez, it wasn't just because like there was a whole load of factors that I was always like that. But I still wouldn't have got rid of both last summer. I think that was massive. Yes, okay, we still won the league, but there was just something missing. Yeah, and it always felt like if we'd have kept one of those two, that missing bit wouldn't have disappeared so quickly. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, I agree with that one.
I agree with you for a change.
Fucking hell, that's a rarity. Bloody hell.
Last season we did miss leadership, we did miss experience, and just keeping one of those two would have made a massive difference.
Exactly. Now, going on to the Ipswich game on Saturday. Now, let's assume we're back in a bit. Sorry, people. We're back in a bit. Let's carry on with us two, shall we? Just
nice to see Danny's face. You can't see him now, can you?
No, exactly. Well, he gone now. Joe,
his iPad's probably gone flat, bless him.
Yeah, right. We'll carry on until it gets back. But I think for me, let's say Gundogan does sign. Yeah. Now, he won't start. He definitely won't start.
Not Saturday.
I don't think he probably can play. I think it'd be more of a they'll reveal him. Oh, there he is. He's back now. There he is.
Technical difficulties.
All right, that's fine. Now, but I think I was saying to Alex, Danny. Well, let's assume a good one does sign for Saturday. I don't think he'll play. I think it'd be more of a he's back now. Then he'll play against West Ham. Something like that. I just feel like it'd be more of a revealed fan if they come back. Because you remember, right, when we left the club, he left without actually saying goodbye to him properly. Like it was more of a trophy, but we thought it was going to stay. So in a way, it's kind of a good chance to properly, welcome him properly, and also think about him. It's a weird one because obviously he's come back rather than anything else. So it's gonna be a weird one. But I just feel like for me, like on Saturday, we won't see him play. But I just want to think: do you think we'll see a very similar team to what we saw on Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be exactly the same team personally.
Yeah, I can't see too many changes, if any.
No Rodri. I think Rodri's rested.
Rodri on the bench, maybe.
Yeah, but I won't bring him on though. I won't bring him on because I'd rather him be another week closer. West Ham game, right? You got to play him. West Ham are a much more of a stronger team, and we need someone like Rodri. But I'd rather like Ipswich. And I'm not being horrible to them, but we've got to be real here. Like we should be able to beat Ipswich without Rodri. If we can't beat them without Rodri, it isn't even being mean. I'm just like, well, we're shit then because one player should not make a team. So I thought it shouldn't be this serious. Like it should be players coming in who can do a job. Like on Sunday, but we're fine.
That's the difference with City because we can just put one player in to replace another, and they do the same job. We're a team. We're a system. We don't just rely on one or two players, do we? Like other teams do.
No, exactly. I think.
Look at Kovacic. Look at Kovacic Sunday. Look how well he played and look how well he supported that role. I'm more than happy if Kovacic is going to stay there.
I go same team as that.
In more of a physical game, he probably couldn't do the holding midfield role, but in that kind of game, he definitely could fill in.
Yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Fucking
hell, that's the third time this episode we've agreed with one another.
Jesus, a record that is. Yeah, lads. What's going on?
We should have done this yesterday.
Oh my god. I'll put rants in the fucking both.
For anyone watching who wants to know what we're on about, a little bit of context, there was a rather fiery, heated exchange between Danny and myself regarding a few players. You can leave it up to your own imagination what players they were, but poor Luke in the background must have received about 50 notifications.
What the fuck? I'm at work, lads. Come on. Jesus.
I promise we don't.
He was gonna. It's almost like he's just been muted. But no, he was going to say, "I promise we don't hate one another. We don't. We don't hate one another. We just have a difference of opinion every now and again."
Yeah, you do. Oh, there he's back now. Third time the charm. There you go.
He went at the perfect time there.
It's not even lagging. It's because my iPad's got full memory, so it's just kicking me out.
All right. Get it cleared then. Get it cleared. Got more podcast to reveal. Big up, Bevo.
What happened?
There you go. So prediction. Gundogan revealed first. Like, you know what? Yeah. I think probably Thursday or Friday, I reckon it'll be revealed. And also, you actually are correct there. From what I was talking about that myself. Thursdays often are the days to do it anyway, because it's often obviously near the weekend. It's a bit more, stuff going on. Yeah, I kind of get that, but especially for at Pep's conference as well. So it's kind of a good time for us the club to reveal that.
Get a here we go from Fab tonight/tomorrow morning, and
probably
then Thursday.
Well, no, there we land. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for there we land. I'm not going. Here we go. It's finished, mate. There we land. We'll be there. We'll be there.
I'm just waiting for announced Gundo again.
Mate, if I see that again, mate, the market on that. Market on that, mate. Honestly. Because you remember, every time we got announced Gundogan, announced Stones, it was,
and then he just did it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much, man. Honestly, I hope we see it again. I mean, so far I'm checking Twitter, nothing really.
Nothing
anything else.
I looked about 10 minutes ago to see if there was an update for us, but there's nothing. So,
I mean, as far as we're aware, it's currently looking like it's going to be done. Can won't hear anything now for at least tomorrow. But either way, I think it's going to happen. He's definitely going to come to us overall. I mean, if we're wrong, we're idiots. But then again, when's that ever new? I was like morons. So it's not a new thing. It's trying to look idiots. So
speak for yourselves.
I get enough hate anyway, mate. So I'm used to it.
Yeah, I know.
If you stop talking bollocks, you won't.
Well, he can't stop bollocks. It's who he is. So us two. It's why we do the podcast. That's why we do this podcast, man. Come on. Yeah, man. No, but I think a prediction for the actual game, I think I'm going to go 5-0. I know I'm not saying that they're terrible, but we should be going there to make a statement. And if Ipswich fans have to go at me for that, you got to understand, right, that you got a lot to prove as it is coming to the Etihad in your first away game. Defensively, you've got a League One defense. If you beat us on Saturday, fairs, all right, but that's down to us being shit probably as well. If they're being real.
It's got 1-0 Ipswich written all over it now, isn't it?
Oh god, but Delap as well. Delap against his old club. Oh god, no. Just win the game, lad. Just get the win. Get us over the line. But 5-0 personally. How about you two?
I'd say 3 or 4-0.
7.
They didn't look good against Liverpool, did they? But they're not going to be
that
bad again.
They were at home, and Murray Hutchinson should have scored like a couple of goals. Like I'm surprised they didn't score at least 1 or 2 possibly for Liverpool, but they just haven't got that kind of confidence for a goal have they in the Premier League. And in the Premier League, you have to take them chances because if you don't, punished. So yeah, hopefully we'll do that tomorrow. I mean, do you know what, Harry?
That's something they're going to learn, though, isn't it? Like,
it
is a difficult run of games playing Liverpool and City in the first 2 games of the league. It's not going to end well, but they'll learn from it. It's not going to be.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? Right, I'm not mentioning that. Look, if you want to know more about that, look it up. I'm not. Yeah, that's a whole different.
On that bombshell.
Brixie is pretty bombshells, man. Fucking hell, man. Oh, bloody hell, man. No, but I think that I'm looking forward to the rest of this week, seeing what happens. Hopefully, Gundogan gets announced, and we'll know more about that signing of that forward signing. I imagine we'll probably know more about that. I reckon after the Gundogan gets announced, probably. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting couple of at least after next Saturday, next Friday is over. Transfers are done because it's been a boring one. It's been a pretty boring window for us, isn't it? It's like nothing's gone on at all apart from like last week or so. So I'm looking forward to just getting back to the football only. No more transfers, just football focus after that. So yeah, bring on Saturday. I won't be there sadly. I mean, obviously YouTube will be there as its first home game, but I'm trying to get to the West Ham away.
Can't wait to be back at the Etihad again.
I bet your body can't. Lucky bastards.
Are you going to West Ham?
I'm going to try to. We'll see if I can take it or not. I should be able to, but we'll see what happens.
I can't be bothered to make the trip down to London again.
For you, I mean, for me, it's about a train journey and that. It's not too bad. Tube's not too bad, but London's a shithole anyway. But yeah, I'm bring on this season. First game's down, big win. The return of Gundogan hopefully this week. Should be a good weekend. Hopefully get a win as well on Saturday. Keep up the pressure. Well, pressure. Is it a title race yet? Is it? No, it's not a title race yet. So
bring on the soon to have a title race. Shall we do a prediction?
I did have 7-0.
No, for the table.
Oh, we will after next Friday. Well, I want to see who else people get in first, and then we'll do one. Because I feel like for me right now, it's still a lot going on. I think Ipswich got Broya now. We might change a little bit, see what happens. I think after the next couple of games, during the break, we've got England, and no one cares about Bully anyway. So we'll just talk about the table. We'll do a proper, detailed prediction. Go into each team, discuss it, and give our prediction. I think right now it's still very early days. Like for example, look at Southampton against Newcastle. They actually played pretty well. Only lost 1-0. So that's what I mean. Like, everyone thought they were going to lose 3 or 4-0. So the fact is, like, we have no idea. Like, Leicester got to draw Tottenham. So let's see what happens for the rest of this window. See who everyone else gets in, and then we'll assess it in a couple weeks' time.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Right, to everyone watching the stream. Big up everyone else in the comments section on YouTube, Twitter. Always appreciate the support, everyone. Of the big season ahead for us. It's the first proper full season of the channel. I'm not. I don't blame him, but we'll finish it there. Big up everyone for actually tuning into the show, tuning in on Twitter, YouTube, whatever it might be. Appreciate all the support, guys, and we'll see you guys next week for another podcast. Take it, guys.
See you later.